Hello everyone, welcome to the lecture series of Artificial Intelligence. This is Sarvachan Verma and working as the Assistant Professor in IT Department at Ajay Kumargar Engineering College, Ghaziabad. Today I will discuss Artificial Intelligence, Artificial Neural Network, various type of neural networks and what are the various fields where we go for Artificial Neural Network, and what is the purpose of artificial neural network, and what are the concept of neurons, perceptrons, and what are the different algorithms for supervised and unsupervised learning. One by one today I will discuss. Now, basically the term of artificial neural network refer to the biologically inspired subfield of artificial intelligence model after the brain. An artificial neural network is usually a computational network based on biological neural network that construct the structure of human brain. Similar to human brain has neurons interconnected to each other. Now, artificial neural network primary consists of three layers. If we're talking about three layers, so this is the structure of artificial neural network. Basically, artificial neural network consists of three layers. First one is input layer and second one is output layer. And in between, one more layer is work. This is called the hidden layer. If we're talking about the purpose of hidden layer, the purpose of hidden layer to perform the computations. The black circles, the whole circles, just like you will see in this image, this is called the neurons. Okay, these neurons then connected to the hidden layer neurons, and then hidden layer neurons then connected to the output layer. So basically this is the structure of artificial neural network. The hidden layer may or may not be present, depends on what type of neural network and what type of purpose and what type of domain you want to design for artificial neural network. Now, first one, if we are talking about input layer, as the name suggests, it accepts input in several different formats provided by the programmer. Okay. Second thing, hidden layer. The hidden layer present in between the input layer and output layer, and it performs all the calculations to find the features and patterns. So we can say all type of calculation will be performed at the hidden layer part. Now, architecture of neural network. We will see here, artificial neural network is a computational system. It means some computations are performed. System consisting of many interconnected units called artificial neurons. Second thing, the connection between the artificial neurons can transmit a signal from one neurons to another. Then some permutations and combinations are as follow. There may be just two layers of neurons in the network, the input layer and output layer, but depends on problem to problem. You can organize your artificial neural network by some hidden layer. The number of hidden layers depends on circumstances and depends on problem to problem. It is not a fixed rate you can give we can give only one hidden layer. It may be two, it may be three, depends on situation. Now, there can be one or more intermediate hidden layer of a neurons. The neurons may be connected with all neurons in the next layer and so on. if we're talking about type of artificial neural network, so if we there is a 3 to 4 types artificial neural network. First one is single layer feed forward network. The architecture of this layer you can see in this figure. We have xm number of inputs. These are the neurons. Okay, these are the neurons, first, second, and we will go xm. This is the input layer, and there is a no hidden layer in this type of artificial neural network. Finally, you will see here we have output layer from y1, y2 and yn. All these neurons are connected to each neurons of output layer. The weight goes from this neuron to this neuron with some weight and with some values. If we are talking about values and weight, this is just like a signals, we can say, technically we can say signals with some amount of value. Now, it consists of only two layers, the input layers and the output layer. The input layer consists of m input neurons connected to each of the n output neurons. Okay. Now, the connection carry weight just like a W11 and so on. The computations are performed in the output layer, because in this type of architecture there is a absence of hidden layer. So, all the computations are performed at the output layer in that scenario. So, through it has two layer of neurons, only one layer is performing the computations. This is reason this is called the network is known as single layer. Second type of artificial neural network is multi-layer feed forward network. Okay. Now, you will see here this is the structure of multi-layer feed forward network. You will see here, if we are talking about the basic difference between the previous and this network is that there is a presence of hidden layer. So, it means all the calculations are performed in this type of architecture at the hidden layer. Okay. All similarly, this is the input layer which consists of xm neurons. Similarly, this is the output layer which consists of ZR neurons, and at the hidden layer there is a yn neurons. Every neurons is connected to other neurons. This is the structure of multi-layer feed forward network. Now, again you will see here, this is again the example of this layer. Each of the layer may have a very number of neurons. For example, the one shown in the above diagram has m neurons in the input layer. You will see here n neurons in the hidden layer and r neurons in the output layer. Third type of artificial neural network is competitive network. If we are talking about competitive network, it is same as the single layer feed forward network in structure. The only difference is that the output neurons are connected to each other. Okay, you will see here, this is the architecture, this is the structure of competitive network is that you will see here the every neurons, output neurons connected to the other neurons of the output layer. Why this reason? This layer is called the competitive layer. Okay, it represents a form of unsupervised learning algorithm. When you are going to working with unsupervised machine learning algorithm, then this competitive network is play very vital role, because in the case of unsupervised learning, we have no idea about the knowledge. We have learned according to the current situation. Now, second and last is the recurrent network. Okay. In recurrent network, it is the case, in the case of recurrent network, there is a feedback loop. This is the most common thing, is feedback loop from the neurons in the output layer to the input layer neurons. Okay. So there can be a self loop itself. Okay. Now, if we are talking about the architecture of this, so you will see here this is similar like other artificial neural network, but there is a difference. The output neurons is connected to the input neurons. Why this reason? This is called the feedback loop. This is called the feedback loop, or we can say itself loop. Okay. So now this is a very important part, learning process in artificial neural network. How your artificial neural network learn? Basically, learning concept comes into the picture if we are talking about the concept of perceptron. I will discuss, but you will see here what is the learning. Learning process in artificial neural network mainly depends on 4 factors. First one is the number of layers in the network. Number of layers means input layer and output layer, and how many are hidden layers. Okay. Second thing, direction of signal flow, in forward direction or it may be recurrent. I will discuss recently. I will discuss number of layers in the nodes, matlab number of neurons in a particular layer. You will see here the number of nodes in the input layer is equal to the number of features of the input data set. Suppose you want to extract the features. Suppose I want to find the you will see here if we are input the text data in CSV file format, and suppose we have the data of student details like, okay, and I want to find the particular age group features, marks features of a particular students, how many students are categorized in that category and how many students are passed with particular percentage. So this is a feature of particular data set. Okay. So the number of outputs nodes will depends on possible outcomes. Okay. Example, the number of class in case of supervised learning, but the number of layers in the hidden layer is to be chosen by the user. A larger number of nodes in the hidden layer, this is very important concept. A large number of nodes in the hidden layer, higher the performance, but too many nodes may result in overfitting and as well as increase the computational expense. A large number of neurons, because all type of calculations perform at the hidden layer. Okay, if we design our artificial neural network with more number of neurons at the hidden layer, so this is the problem. First one is overfitting and second one is increase computational expensive. It means your model take more time to predict the and to classify a particular features of a particular data set. Now, the fourth learning thing is weight of interconnected node. Deciding the value of a weight attached with each interconnection between each neurons so that a specific learning problem can be solved correctly. It is a quite difficult problem by itself. Suppose I have designed, take a very bit special care. Suppose I have designed one artificial neural network like this. It contains some signals, suppose x0 with weight w0, and you will see here. Similarly, it contains some signals x1 with weight w1 and move to this neurons. Okay, this neurons, every neurons have two part. First one is summation part First one is summation part and second one is activation function. I will discuss. This is the summation part. Every neurons is divided into two parts. Then this will connect it to the next layer neurons, and this is finally give the output. Suppose the I want to find the particular features of a particular image. Suppose we have one image and I want to, suppose we have one picture of a hero, okay, but I want to find out the particular eyes. I want to extract the features of eye, and I want to extract the you can say I want to extract the face of a particular hero. In that situation, all the data, all the image will be moved into the RGB format, okay. And suppose I want to give some pixels of our image into the form of weights, and you will see here, suppose I have idea when we find out the particular feature of a image with value 0.1. Suppose I want we have idea ki I have used some algorithm and I want to, if our model give 0.1 accuracy, one output, then it will extract the face of a particular image. Otherwise some problem already we can say there is some problem in this model. You will see here, this is a very difficult task. When you are designing our artificial neural network, you are many times you have to again repropagate your artificial neural network with the different weights. There is a lot of equations are there to rearrange your weight, okay. So this is the example, but after giving the weight, why model give the 0.6? So this is not an appropriate output given by this model, because of I have required only 0.1. The output of I have required, this is 0.1, but unfortunately this will give 0.6. This is the problem, okay. This is a very important factor. So this is very difficult task. We have again check by giving the different weights, then we again check and then find the output, because we are doing supervised learning. In supervised learning, we have already idea ki when we give this type of input, we will get this type of output, okay. Now basically, if we are talking about neurons, this is example of neurons, okay. If we are talking about neurons also called basic unit of the brain. We can say the fundamental unit of the brain and nervous system. You will see here, this is an example of first we can say perceptron and we can say neurons. I will differentiate such thing in later. You will see here inside this, this is our neurons like this. In our network, you will see here, I will discuss, there is a n number of neurons, but I will talking about a single neurons, okay. When they send the signals, okay. This is a very simple example. Suppose you are facing some challenge, okay, and someone you told you, please put your hands on the stay in the under the candle, okay. You are putting your hand up to some threshold value. Whenever you are accept this type of temperature, whenever your body will observe this type of temperature up to a threshold level, after certain time you are able to again pick your hand from the candle, because of there is a signals process. N number of organs will send the signals to your brain, and according to your brain we can say the decision, a particular action you will be take. So this is the example of, this is the one neurons in our body, and this neurons will take the signals input with some weight W1, W2 and W3 and Wn, and all these signals hit to a particular neurons. Okay, this neurons is divided into two parts. First one is summation function and second one is activation function. This is the activation function. Sorry, this is the activation function. Okay, the how we can calculate the summation? Y equal x1 w1 plus x2 w2 plus x3 and w3. Okay, after a certain time, this x1 w1, all the inputs are calculated on a particular neurons. After that, the decision may be done by the some activation function. Okay, whether the neurons fire or not, whether the signal pass to the next neurons or not. This is depends on some value. This depends on some activation functions, which type of activation function used by the particular neurons. Okay, so basically we can define some just like a simple linear, sigmoid, ReLU, and number of activation functions are here, and you can select the particular activation function for as per your problem domain. Okay, you will see here, if activation function got the signal, suppose this y will get 0.5, suppose this y will get a value 25, and my activation function is that if y greater than equal 21, please send the signal to the next neuron, no issue at all. So this is the work of activation function. Activation function, this is the next topic. You will see here, an activation function decide whether a neuron should be activated or not by calculating weighted sum and further adding bias with it. Okay, bias is a value. There are basic building blocks of artificial neural network. Is a artificial neural network is attached to each neurons in neural network and determine whether the neuron should be activated or not. Thank you.